Wow, I was getting ready to do a really quick update and the power flickered here at the house. So everything went offline and back online for a second. So I'm hoping you're able to see this if you can. Just 16 of you, according to what Facebook is saying. Let me know about that. Hey, it's what comes with storms. You have power outages and power flickers and all that sort of stuff. So let's go ahead and go to radar. So if you can, just let me know if you can hear me, see me, all those good things. So we go ahead and go over here to the radar and kind of let you know what's going on. Let's see here. Let me go back to real quick. So currently, technically speaking, Tullahoma in and of itself is under nothing. But we've got some stuff right to our south that has been moving in generally speaking that kind of direction. And so when it does, we'll likely see some of these storms coming into our area whether that warrants a warning or not. We've got some definitely some strong storms off to our south and southwest. So now that I'm officially a part of TUA, I do want to kind of give you guys some updates so you can kind of see what's going on downtown. Radar. And so, like I said, we've got some storms that just kind of formed along the boundary. If I had just gone back just a couple of frames ago, you can see right here where my I don't know if you can see that with my cursor or not, but I'm gonna draw it. Well, it's right above Tullahoma. There's a little line. I've noticed that you cannot see my cursor on here. We're gonna fix that. Hang on just a second. Show window. Nope. I guess I can't. We'll have to work on that. But right here, right along Tullahoma, you'll see what was an outflow boundary right here. And so these storms, what happens is that's the cold air pushing out from the thunderstorm. And notice it was going west to east there. And so what you're going to see is the environment interact with those, and then bam, you see the storms boom blossom right over. So Tullahoma's getting plummeted right now with storms. Just not anything that's severe just yet. We've got about a minute before the Moore County special weather statement expires, so it'll be kind of interesting to see what they want to do there. And then, of course, down here to our neighbors to our south, especially Winchester, and it's kind of entering the Winchester area right now. We definitely have a really strong storm system here that's moving through. You can kind of see unless you can see it with that black line, kind of this movement of the air in that direction. And that's what's warranting the gust of wind that makes the special weather statement happen. So, again, we've got quite a bit going on to our counties to the south. Tullahoma proper, really nothing going on. If you look even in the parts of the Franklin Moore County sides of Tullahoma, nothing's really happening just yet. That rain's right there at the doorstep of Cumberland Springs Road. It's probably already moved a little bit farther north than that. And so there you see it. They've decided not to continue with that special weather statement. So kudos to us. Makes life a lot easier. So I just like I said, I wanted to come on here briefly. It wasn't anything to scare you guys. I also needed to try out, going back and try that and show you guys that, because this would be the first live stream that I officially have permission to be able to do that. And I just want to say a big thanks again to TUA, more specifically Jason Jones and Emma Cook have worked with me, and hopefully we're going to be doing a lot more um, sooner rather than later. So, anyways, not really anything of importance here that's going to warrant me staying on for a very long time. One thing I do want to let you guys know, and if you're watching it live or if you're going to watch it in the future, there's going to be, real quick, let me talk to you. So there's really, like I said, it's just storms. It's not anything to worry about. If you hear the roar, stay indoors. That's what the National Weather Service says. It's kind of kooky, but hey, it works, right? You don't definitely want to be out in this mess, especially with the lightning. But real quick, um, so one of the things that I'm going to be doing starting July 1st, which will be next week. So you're getting this information before I even post. Will no longer be streaming on Facebook. Facebook is making some changes that is deleting all of my live videos, and anybody that does live videos, they're not housing them anymore like they used to be. And so, in order for me to keep all those, it's just eating up space like gigs of data. And so, I'm going to be making the switch over to YouTube. And that way, it doesn't matter if you have Facebook or not, everybody has the YouTube app. And that's going to open it up quite a bit to folks that just don't have Facebook. And that's another reason you'll see me explain a little bit more about that. But I just want to let you know that that's going to be coming in post at 7 o'clock tonight. And it's going to be coming again on Monday, just to remind people, because I need you guys to subscribe, smash that notification bell. I sound like one of those YouTube people, but I've got to have 50 subscribers in order for me to do live things. And so there's an audience that's not being reached. And I don't care where you live, who you are, I want you to be able to have access to this. It should be free and available to you guys. So, anyways, right back at the radar, and I'll just probably say a couple more things, and I'll get off of here for now. So, like I said, it's my Winchester and my Franklin County people that I'm more concerned with right now. We just had some good old thunderstorms out there, and also too, if you're watching this stream, while I have a couple of, people on here, maybe from various places, and I'm going to post about this as well. The more cameras that I have access to, the better. I would love to have tons of cameras available in this triangle area. Okay. Because me being a weather spotter for over 15 years, look, the radar's great, but it's not as good as ground truth data. Like, for instance, right now, it's going to be like just teach you a little 101 stuff right here. Okay, so here's another outflow boundary. That's a huge one that storms are going to follow. But right here in high top is where the radar is. Okay, when the radar beam is shooting around like this, going to make y'all dizzy. Here's the thing, it cannot see this storm clearly because this one's blocking its view. Okay. Does that make sense? So I'm shooting the beam out. Okay. And it shoots through, and it can't truly see what's going on here in Tullahoma because of what's going on in Winchester. It's kind of impeding its view, if you will. Now, if this storm wasn't here, this would look a little bit different on radar, guaranteed. So I look like John Madden telestrating everywhere. Um, so the point is that we need cameras to be able to see what's going on in and about, something that can point to the sky. I'm not asking you to give me your Ring doorbells. That's not necessarily what I'm asking for here. But if you guys know of folks, or you would allow me to use your camera for broadcast purposes only, just the same way that I use TUA stuff, message me. Let me know if you know somebody, like, and can get me in touch with somebody. That would be great too. Like, knowledge is power. I'm trying to reach out to people, but it can be kind of, sometimes you just get a bunch of no's, and I totally understand that. I get it. Like, I'm the dude asking for your cameras, okay? And so I understand. Thank you, Christy Street, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Go ahead and get all that stuff done. You'll see it over there. If you're on my page, which, real quick, let's see if I can even do this. Let me turn the radar over because you cannot see hang on just a minute. You cannot see what I'm doing right now. Where's it at, Christopher? I love talking to myself. All right, perfect. All right, so here is that tab. Here is Facebook, and let me pull this away. You'll see I'm live, and right down here under that section, you'll see it. If I could zoom in, let's see if my mouse will let me zoom in. Perfect. Right there, you'll see where that's kind of been added and haven't really said anything. So if you want to go there and subscribe, this video won't be this video will be uploaded to YouTube, but starting July 1 is when I'm going to start. If I've got my 50 people, that's the goal at least. Okay, so all right, enough talking about that. Let's get back to radar for just a minute. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, let me put that up here. Cool. Yeah, the Frontier Days, Miss Fan. I was thinking about that too. The good thing is it's just good old rain. Oops, let me do this. It's just good old rain right now. And it's fairly heavy over there, uh, downtown Lynchburg. It's coming down. The good thing is I don't really see. Let me change something real quick because another thing you're going to want to do is look at positive lightning strikes. There's been a couple, but they've been west, and so where you see the little yellow um, plus signs is where you've had positive strikes. Now there could be cloud to cloud lightning all day long. And that's just you see them in the clouds, they don't reach the ground. All the radar really picks up on are CG strikes, cloud to ground lightning. Okay. And so now what you're seeing is really right along, what does that be? Not 50, but that'd be that's not 130. That would be State Route 476 right there. That's basically where you see basically from Brownington all the way. There's Tensport State Park. They're probably getting some wind right now. That 40-mile-an-hour gust, pea-size hail. Real quick, let me go over to that. Any of the hail probably, according to this, would be more the downtown area, a little bit north, kind of going really along 41A right there, where would be your best chance of any like pea-size hail, which would be in this top part of the storm over here. And usually down in here, you may see it too with the purples. That's usually a good. That's usually an indicator too. So, all right, all right, there we go. So this is going to go on again for another 7 minutes. I'll stay on for 7 minutes if you want to hang out. What I'll be interested to see is to see this outflow boundary right here. And this is something you just kind of teach to watch for in the summer. That's a big push of air. And so typically what's going to happen is that environment's going to react with this and we're going to see some thunderstorm development. And that's usually how you have to track these things um, when you get to this time of the year. A little bit different than springtime. You see that squall line, the supercells are just kind of all to themselves. It's completely, like I said, a different setup. So we were under, just so y'all know, we were under a mesoscale discussion, but with it being a 5% chance of them issuing a watch, I didn't even think it was necessary to talk about. There's just no point to really alarm you guys. And you can see here in Tullahoma, kind of zoom back in on Tullahoma for a second. Looks like the north side of Tullahoma is getting pelted and like going out Short Springs, Lake Hills, really traveling right along like the left side of 55 or the north side of 55 there as you are going into Manchester. And then it looks like it literally, it's crazy. It's like going up 55 and down 41 is where you would see that storm. And that's where all of that new storm development is because of the outflow boundaries. And so that's just kind of how you have to watch these things go. And some people have asked me, several actually have asked me, why are the storms going to the west now? Now they're going more toward the east, but why were they going to the west the past couple of days? And that has to do really with the placement of the high pressure system. And while the high pressure system does go in a clockwise motion, it's the placement of that high pressure system, exactly where is it at on the map, that does kind of direct what direction storms go. And so that's why over the past couple of days, because of where the high's been placed, that's why storms were traveling to the west instead of to the east. So again, stuff we don't necessarily deal with. Um, all right. So anyways, oh, that's It's a nice little storm system here. But in 5 minutes, I gather that they'll probably do the same thing. You can see just how much this part of the storm has weakened now than it looked just a little while ago. I mean, if I go back and I look at it here for a second, look how much stronger that it looked. And this would have been when at like about 2:30 ish. So what, 25 minutes ago, and how those storms form off to the north. Yeah, and then just kinda even really this really hasn't really weakened all that much, but definitely this storm right here has choked out that part that was over, Moore County, and hence why they decided to go ahead and cancel the severe, special weather statement. So, if you're on here and you're like, "Hey, if you are new to the channel and you're like, what's a special weather statement? So, real quick, like I said, since this has got just a couple minutes before we say goodbye, in 4 minutes or so, a special weather statement is an area that's kind of like severe thunderstorm warning light. It's close. It's close. It's reaching severe limits, but it's just not there yet. And so that's why they designate these as strong storms, and why your Norweather radio doesn't go off for these. Your phones don't necessarily go off for these unless you've calibrated it to do so. So anyways, that's what a special weather statement is. Think of it like the precursor to a severe thunderstorm warning. It's it's not just a thunderstorm, it's a fairly strong thunderstorm. You could have wind gusts up to, a lot of times you'll even see it as high as 50 miles an hour and pea-sized hail, so it's approaching limits, but not quite there. Hmm. It doesn't look like it's moving very fast either. This thing, let's say, how fast was it moving? 5 miles an hour. So if I put a kinda track on it, kinda been watching it the past couple scans, going like that direction. Well, it's not even gonna let me do it. Let me back up a little bit. Oh, gracious. Okay, and I went 5 miles an hour. So, let's bring it over here so we can see it a little closer, and I'll zoom in. Oh, they decided to do that. Aha, see that little part of the storm that was, getting stronger? They decided to go ahead and put a, um, special weather statement on it. So real quick on this one, Estill would be 330, excuse me, 337. So that's showing you how slow these things are going. So despite all that, because it's raining really heavily over these areas, you could see a little bit of flash flooding from these in certain parts that are kind of low lying, because that's a lot of rain that dumps over a really short period of time. And so that, like I said, Estill would be 337, and if it went all the way to Rutledge Falls, I doubt it would be at that point severe. You're looking at 330, 536. Like I said, I don't think it's going to hold itself together. It'll rain itself out before it gets there. And so they have decided to go ahead with. Let me turn this off. Sorry. They decided to go ahead and, as I zoom out now, you can see a lot more of these storms. Isn't it funny? Just as it gets past Tullahoma, and honestly, Tullahoma is included in that up until about the Bel Air subdivision, but really and truthfully, if I'm like, what part of that storm are they really referring to that's warranting all of that? That's gonna be right in this area right here, okay? That area right between I-24 and 55 coming up into Manchester right there, and before basically that corridor, 41 would be the north side of it, and then you've got 55 and 24, kind of like a little triangle right there. That was probably what would warrant that warning, or excuse me, that special weather statement. So again, it's under there for another 30 minutes, but it's not anything that it's not anything that I'm overly concerned about. If you're wanting to know my honest opinion, just gusty winds, you know. All right, they've allowed that to expire, which I figured that they would. And so at this point, like I said, most of this is going off to areas I don't really cover yet. But again, it's just part of the day. So I'm going to go ahead and Chattanooga. Ah, Well, Chattanooga, you got some storms over there. I saw that somebody asked about Chattanooga. It's kind of give you the radar of what's going on in Chattanooga. It's pretty much a clear drive until you get into that part over there by Wildwood, the Georgia side, that's always slow because they've got traffic. I was there last week in Chattanooga. Um, but anyways, you don't see anything that's warranting any kind of the next no, well, not even warn storm. The special weather statements down here close to Scottsboro, Alabama, right there in that area. So, anyway, so that's kind of gives you an idea of what's going on here. I can kind of show you a bigger picture to show you what's going on. Let me do this real quick. Give you a regional look and show you what all the storms are at, what part of storms, and definitely the most severe stuff is going to be right down in here along the Georgia, Tennessee, kind of Sequatchie County, right in that area, the very tip of is that North Carolina right there. So, all right, well, look, I'm going to zoom back in here, take the radar back to where it needs to go, which is Huntsville, Hunts Vegas, and let you see that there's a strong storm kind of pushing its way toward northern parts of Coffee County, but for Tullahoma, and we'll take one quick look and then we'll go bye bye. All righty, guys. So I'm going to get off of here. I will see you all soon. Um, don't forget, got a post coming at 7 o'clock tonight, letting you guys know about YouTube and moving stuff over. So just be ready for that one, and well, I will see you all soon. All right. Have a great rest of your Friday. If any storms kind of decide to start, they want to misbehave, I will keep you in the loop. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.